Okay. Thank you very much. Once again, I'm pleased to be able to speak here Sunday afternoon. In other countries in this region, people are systematically arrested and murdered for this same privilege to speak. And in fact, it is a privilege to be informed. You should be going out of your way to study the issues, particularly the uranium issue. You know from way back as the 1950s that when they were testing above ground weapons in Australia, they were lying. The British government, the Australian governments were lying consistently about the amount of radiation that was going into the atmosphere. Australian scientists were blasphemed for telling the truth, for getting up and doing measurements of the thyroid glands taken from different sheep all around Australia. They had measurements that were 1,000 times more above what are considered safe levels, whatever they may be. They tend to be able to distort the facts. We know it's getting warmer. The scientists are saying we're in an accelerated meltdown. If anyone is aware of what it's like, the comparison is a refrigerator door left open all night and how much of the ice block is left. That's what happens with global warming and the meltdown. If you're not aware of the obvious conclusion is that you have the polar caps as well as the melting of the permafrost. It's untold the amount of danger we're in, the perilous situation. But the thing is, this is where we're supposed to react positively. Rather than go into a frenzy of denial, burying ourselves in the opportunism and the let's get in and spend it all now mentality of a defeatist race of people who say, rather than listen to and explore for that line of least resistance, when you're afraid of confronting monumental problems like Ben-Gurion would have when he was building the nation of Israel, when he was faced with monumental problems, he approached them with faith and with wisdom and with application. We have a problem with global warming that has to be approached in a balanced and coordinated and yet dynamic way. We can't allow politicians to say, yes, we'll rely on carbon trading and centrifusion with our CO2s from coal, clean coal. They'll promise you this, the future remains with fossil fuel. Basically, they'll try and convince you that nuclear power is a solution to global warming. This is going to be the most massive criminal lie perpetrated by the great pretender upon the people. What we've got to do is stop considering ourselves left or right, religious or atheist or capitalist or communist, and see ourselves beyond nationalism and religious fundamentalism to the world beyond the fossil fuel age. If you can't envision a world where people are known to be equals in the sight of each other, knowing that the justice we give is the one we deal, we reap as we sow as individuals, we live by the law because it's the logical way to progress into the future with a system of kibbutz designed to employ people to do the work that we're obviously too lazy to do ourselves, replenish our environment. If I was a Christian evangelist and a liar like these people out of America will say to you, obey the law, behave, do what you're told, I'll say resist, do what you wish, love one another now and set yourself free from this illusion that this is a guaranteed future because everyone's doing it. Get in your car, drive around in circles, go home and watch it on TV. This is a ridiculous waste of your energy resources, selling them off for peanuts and buying them back as trinkets. And imposing intolerable burden on your environment. No one wants to talk about it because no one wants to have to come up with ideas. They want to leave it to the government. A government we know is the pretender, the liar. They'll offer you the hope of getting rich, the chance of getting famous, a change of circumstances, some sort of guarantee. Your world's built upon sand. It can go, empires have disappeared from the face of the earth before. We are perilously close drawing to the karma of our own consequences, our decisions, the way we conduct ourselves in war. I can't imagine an Australian soldier torturing a man under guard. I can't believe that we'd stoop that low. And yet the Americans take it as a course of events. Where does a little bit of torture end and genocide begin? If I was an overtly spiritual religious person, I'd be commanding you to repent and obey, and I'd be telling you what to do. I'd be saying, take that giant step to the 1,000 years of peace, a system of kibbutz in your hemp industry. Legalise marijuana, something for nothing for your working people. You've got to herb, it's in Congress. I wrote to the Reverend Joe Strummer, sort of father. I said, marijuana is better than money, and you know what they say about money being the root of all evil. Here's something that's an alternative to that greed, that opportunism and that corruption. We've surrendered the fight against global warming in America. They don't even talk about a contingency plan.